We have grown up in a country, for those of us that grew up here, aren't immigrants or here from another country, but we have grown up in a country where it is obvious that people go through 4 phases of their ideologies around their work life. Phase number 1 is what I want to do. Phase number 2 is what I'm told I should be doing. Phase number 3 is what I actually end up doing. And phase number 4 is what I regret that I never did. What I want to do, what I'm told I should be doing, what I actually end up doing, and what I regret I never did. Let's look at these in 4 different areas, piece by piece. Phase number 1, what I want to do. When you were younger, age 5, 6, 7, first grade, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, what do you want to be when you grow up? Is a question that we probably all have been asked as children. And we usually say an astronaut, the president of the United States, a race car driver, an equestrian, a ballerina, right? It depends. But as children, we have these ideas, these hopes, these wishes to be something amazing, something that fascinates us is what we want to do. And somewhere along the lines of, I'm 5, 6, 7 years old to when we get to high school, society, our parents, our neighborhood, possibly some other influences, give us what they think we should be doing. Based off of a few things. What they see about us. In some cases, this could be good. I'll give you a prime example. My English teacher in high school, there are 2 teachers in high school, actually several teachers in high school, but 2 in particular. One I recently had an opportunity to thank at an alumni luncheon. I had an opportunity to thank him because I was in the hallway with some of my friends acting crazy, doing what guys do. Remember, I told you I went to an all-boys high school. So I'm acting crazy with the rest of the guys. And Mr. O'Malley came out of his room and he's like, "Roberson, get over here." And I'm like, oh my God, O'Malley caught me, right? He's get over here. He was like, "Why are you with these knuckleheads? You're better than that. Be yourself. Be yourself. You're better than that. Don't get caught up in this. You're a leader. Act like one." Now I'm 14 years old. I didn't think I was a leader at that time, but he thought I was. He saw something in me that I didn't see. So in that regard, I was fortunate enough to have somebody who saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. I had another teacher, Mr. Ed Adams, my English teacher and my track coach. He's in the Hall of Fame as far as high school track coaches are concerned. Amazing track coach, turned our program around. I know what I know about being an athlete because of him today. I think, what was put into me got put into my daughter. She's doing exceptionally well. And she has some coaches that know a lot more than me now. But he was another one that saw me and my writing. He's like, "Roberson, you are one of the smartest kids in this school. Stop acting like you're not." So I had good influences. I had people that saw stuff in me. But the phase 2 that I'm talking to you about, when we hear from people who tell us what we should be doing, sometimes it's in our best interest, sometimes it's not. Sometimes people want you to settle only because they had to. Sometimes people only know what their current surroundings tell them, and that's all that they have to give to you. So it's not that your family means harm when they tell you that you should get a real job, or maybe you want to think more realistic, or whatever it is that they're telling you about your career path. In some cases, they're trying to avoid from you getting hurt. But the thing about visionaries and people who have vision and people who know that they are capable of much more than what their current circumstances dictate, is that you have to listen to that inner voice, that small, still voice that tells you this ain't it. There's more to it than what you see right now. So in those phases where we're around people who tell us what we should be doing, and they're giving us this advice, there are three things that we do with information. We accept it, we reject it, or we neglect it. Those are the only three things that we could do with information. You accept the information. You accept what they tell you as true. And when you accept it, you let somebody else speak over your life or give you what their interpretation of your life should be, and you accept it, you internalize it, and then that becomes what you put out into the world. You reject it, meaning that you are totally against what they said. What they said is a misnomer, or it's not, this ain't it for you. Or you neglect it, okay? And when you neglect information, it's not necessarily good or bad, depending on what the information is. You know, if your car is parked on the train tracks and people say, there's a train coming, if you accept the information, you live. If you reject the information, you die. If you neglect the information, you possibly die as well. So neglecting the information can have an adverse effect. Okay. And then there's what we actually end up doing. I'm in phase 3 now. What we actually end up doing. For me, my career path ended up being things that had nothing to do with my major, nothing to do with my interests for a while until I got on the path of entrepreneurship. But the jobs that I took, I remember, interviews during college, and I'm like, I'm interviewing because I have student loans and I need to pay these student loans back. It wasn't that I was interested in what I was interviewing for. I was interested in paying back the student loans and not having it affect my credit. Because during my college years, I started learning a little bit about finances after, I had got the Discover card because of the Frisbee. Right? So what I actually ended up doing, or what a lot of people actually end up doing in their jobs, careers, may not be something that they're passionate about, that they love doing, but they're doing it out of the necessity to pay the bills. Phase 4, and it doesn't have to be phase 4, but I'm giving you a general analogy, so to speak, of what the 4 phases of career life ends up being, is what you regret that you never did. I follow a guy on Instagram named Gary Vaynerchuk. And he says, if you really want perspective about life and how precious time is, go volunteer at a nursing home. Talk to the people who realize they don't have much time left and all of the things that they regret they never did. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. I remember being young and ambitious. Now I'm slightly older and still ambitious, but one of the things that I've been preaching for a very long time, I've been talking about for a very long time in my talks with whoever I'm talking with, is that being happy to me is more important than being financially wealthy. And what I mean by that is not that money isn't important, because money is definitely a tool that could help you in your happiness. But my happiness and my time is more important than making sure that I get to $25 gazillion in my bank account, which is what at my early 20s I was looking forward to. 20 years old, 21 years old, getting ready to get out of college. By 25, I'm going to be a multimillionaire, right? I'm going to be able to pay off my parents' houses. I'm going to have a 7-car garage. I'm going to buy all the watches that Larry Smith said I shouldn't have. I'm going to have all of these things. And as time progressed, I started realizing, especially after I almost lost my father, I started realizing he didn't care if I paid off his house or not. He cared that I came and watched tennis with him when the Williams sisters were playing. He cared that I came for family dinner, and I was there for him because he liked to entertain and be around his boys. He cared that I thought enough of him to sacrifice my time to come clean his gutters, because at 70 plus years old, he shouldn't be on a ladder trying to clean gutters.
That's right.
My dad got mad at me one time because the grass needed to be cut. Thank you. The grass needed to be cut. And he was like, the grass needs to be cut. I'm not feeling well. Would you mind coming to cut the grass? I said, Dad, don't worry about it. I got it. I get to the house, and I see some guys out there with a truck with lawn mowers. I said, how much do you charge to cut the grass? He's like, front and back? I said, yeah. He said, $50. I said, here you go. So 3 guys on riding lawn mowers finished the grass in 15 minutes, right? Raked everything, bagged it up, it looked beautiful. My father was pissed. I didn't ask them to cut the grass, I asked you to cut the grass. I said, Dad, they did in 15 minutes what would have taken me an hour and 50 minutes, right? Like with your little hand lawnmower, right? But I understand the value of my time. And that gave me more time to spend with my dad because I'm not out in the hot sun pushing a lawnmower that I don't want to do anyway. So again, that's an example of money as a tool, right? Because with my money, I'm able to buy back my time. My daughter is an All-American athlete, track star. I miss very few track meets. From kindergarten through 8th grade, I think I only missed 2 field trips. From kindergarten through 8th grade with my 16-year-old. My older daughter, I missed more than that because I was in the foundations of building a business and all of that stuff. But I was still there. All the cheerleading competitions and stuff like that, I was there. I was the cheer dad. But the thing is, I'm able to buy my time back, and there's nothing like it. So me and my brother now are talking about all the things that we want to do for our parents, in their 70s, and a lot of it has to do with spending time with them. That's it. So, phase 4, getting back to it, what you end up regretting that you didn't do with your business life, with your career path. Now, fortunately, regardless of age, we are now in a place where you can create whatever it is that you want for yourself, whatever you want that financial legacy to be. You all are involved in a business or businesses where you have the ability to create whatever it is that you want, if you're willing to put the sweat equity in. So those are the 4 phases.